Comments recorded too. Okay, so let's go ahead. Let me start over again reading Stedman's essay. Guys, follow along, and we'll discuss it when I'm done. Anna Swanson had just finished her shift at Chick-fil-A and was driving home after a tiresome and exhausting day at work. On arriving at the stoplight, she could not help but notice a rusty late model Volkswagen that pulled up beside her. A man with a scraggly beard and a cigarette in his mouth stared at her through dirty windows. She tried to shrug it off and continued to drive to the daycare to pick up her 4-month-old baby. Pulling into the driveway of their dumpy old trailer home, she looked forward to being inside and settling into the evening routine. The trailer Anna and her baby lived in was a small and cozy place, but it seemed so empty without her husband. Kevin had died in a construction accident 6 months earlier, just before the baby was born, and she had been barely getting by. Anna was determined to make it and become a faithful, hardworking employee. While preparing supper for her baby, she glanced out of the window and noticed the same late model Volkswagen slowly drive past their trailer. She felt an unnerving chill run up her spine and more intently felt the absence of her husband. Until this moment, she had felt safe living in the trailer alone, since she knew it was in a good neighborhood. But somehow her thoughts of the scraggly-looking driver of that rusted Volkswagen filled her with dread. Just a second, I'm making myself a note. Anna and Kevin met at Fairview High School with their sophomore year. Kevin was the star player on the basketball team, and Anna became the flute player in the high school band. They dated throughout the rest of high school, then courted while attending a private college in their hometown. The weekend after graduation from college, they were married. Kevin was an avid hunter, and Anna enjoyed and cherished going with him on his duck hunting trips in the first few months as newlyweds. He soon taught her how to shoot his Remington 870 pump-action shotgun that his father had given him on his 15th birthday. Kevin had such a good work ethic that it didn't take long for him to receive a job promotion as a crane operator for a construction company. During a very unexpected accident on Kevin's job site, he was killed, leaving Anna a widow. Thinking back on her life, Anna heated up her coffee, still concerned with the Volkswagen driving by her house, and was thankful for the security her husband's shotgun propped up in the corner of the back bedroom. However, daydreaming wouldn't get her baby ready for bed, so she grabbed his pajamas and settled him in for the night. Once the baby was in bed, Anna peeked out of the kitchen window one last time to make sure the rusted old Volkswagen had passed on by. Sorry, I was getting rid of the phone ringing there. Where was I, Stedman? Let's see. Once the baby was in bed, Anna peeked out the kitchen window one last time to make sure the rusted old Volkswagen had passed on by, only to find it parked in her driveway. A shadowy figure stepped out of the car and marched up to her doorstep. Anna peeked through her window and noticed the man had a 12-inch hunting knife. He banged on the door with all his might, trying to break in. Anna knew the man was drunk, which would buy her a little more time considering he was not right in the head. She ran to the baby's room and took him with her to the back bedroom at the end of the hall. During this process, she grabbed her phone and dialed 911. She frantically described the scenario to the dispatcher as the man continued to attempt to break the door down. The dispatcher said they would send an officer to her house immediately, but considering her location, they would not arrive for at least 10 to 15 minutes. The man ran to the back door, trying everything he could to break in. Anna calmed her baby with a bottle and ran to grab her husband's shotgun while still on the phone with 911. Anna asked the dispatcher if she could shoot the man if he broke in, and the dispatcher said, "I can't tell you what to do, but you do whatever it takes to protect your baby." Anna waited with shotgun in hand for the police to arrive, straining to hear the sirens and sound in the distance. Suddenly, the door to her trailer finally gave way, and the man raced towards Anna and her baby with knife in hand. As the shotgun exploded in her grasp, the man was thrown back against the wall and fell to the floor. A wash of relief and shock swept over Anna as tears streamed down her face, clinging to her baby. She heard the sirens in the distance. She and her baby were safe because of her choice. The writer is quite aware that many people in our country today believe that the U.S. citizens should not own guns and simply rely on the police to protect them. The problem with this is that the police cannot be where you want them to be on time. Seconds matter, and in a situation where it's a matter of life or death, the ownership of a gun just might save your life. The saying is very true that if guns were outlawed, outlaws would be the only ones with guns. The Second Amendment to the U.S. Constitution clearly states that we, the people, have the right to own and bear arms. The story of Anna clearly shows us just how crucial a mere matter of seconds can be. Had she been unarmed, those few minutes might have cost her and her baby their lives. All right, now, what does Stedman do really well here?
Yes. Did you see, you saw my last paragraph, right? Where I was saying, where I was saying, like, the writer is aware of this, and then I, like, explained.
Right, yeah, I read that.
Okay, yeah. Just wanted to make sure it got on.
Yep, so. It's there, and I read it.
Good.
Okay, so Ben and Joel, what did Stedman do really well here?
That's a good story. Yeah, good story.
It's a compelling story. Here's the problem with the story, Stedman, and I already told you this when you emailed me. Your story needs to be condensed to one paragraph as your introduction, and at the end of it, you have to get to your thesis. Otherwise, you're not meeting the assignment.
Yeah, it's almost too long because our assignment is
yeah, this was a different assignment for another class, so I had to make it long, but I can cut out a lot of it.
You're going to have to, because it doesn't fit our assignment. So it makes a great beginning, but your last paragraph should actually be like your second paragraph, because you need to condense all of this story into just the bare essentials for the purpose of this paper. Then you need to get to your thesis all in your one paragraph, or possibly two. It would be possible to begin with your last paragraph with a statement of your thesis and then move on, but you want to get rid of the writer is quite aware. Why do you have to get rid of that, Stedman? That phrase.
Because it's like first person.
It's first person. You're taking away the focus from your paper and putting it on you all of a sudden. You don't want to do that. So I suggest you figure out how to carefully condense this story to one good paragraph, and at the end of it, when you say she heard the siren, she and her baby were safe because of their choice, I would add something about this is a real life example of why protecting the Second Amendment is so important. So you're sliding in a statement of your thesis right there. Then I need to see your con point and how you're going to turn it.
What?
I need you to back up three more.
No.
Ben.
Oh, my microphone on?
Yes, sir. Okay, so Stedman, what I was saying is, you see how you finish your story and talk about her choice saving their lives, then add your thesis there. That's why it's so important to protect the Second Amendment. Then your next paragraph can be, while many citizens in the U.S. believe that we should not own guns, there's your con point, right? Because why? And how do you turn that and say that's not the case? Then you give me your pro points. And then you wrap it up by referring back to the story somewhere in your conclusion. That's how I see this playing out well for you. But you've got to really rework it for this paper. Does that make sense, Stedman?
Yes, ma'am, that does.
Okay, anybody have other comments for Stedman? Okay, so let's come back over to our class area. Anybody have any questions about your own essay that you want to ask me? Because this is the only time we're going to discuss this. Any other questions about essay 3? Okay. If you have specific questions, like in this case, should I do this or this, you can always email me. I will answer questions like that for you, but I'm not going to do any more reading till you turn it in. Okay? All right.
Miss Finnegan?
Yes, Stedman.
Do you want me to change my rough draft and send my revised rough draft to you, or no?
No, I just want you to do it.
Just do it. All right.
Just do it, and when you turn in your final, let it be really good. So here's my final question for you today. What is the most important thing that you each need to do to improve your own essays? As you think about what we talked about, Joel, what are you going to improve in yours?
Just the commas and the little errors.
That's not the most important thing. Those are important, Joel. What's the most important thing that you need to do with your essay? In my opinion, I can tell you.
But
you need to beef up your paragraphs, develop your ideas better, and include some more of those ERC tools. Look for ways to use figures of speech. Your basic outline of your argument is pretty good, but you need to develop each paragraph better. Okay?
I need to stick to the same subject without dispersing off.
You need to focus a little more on your argument, Ben.
Yeah.
But you're off to a good start too. And Stedman, you need to condense your story and get onto your argument, right? Okay, so that's what I see as the most important thing, guys, for working on finishing up those essays.
So, like, have my story as the example, and then have my actual, like, cases and everything, and argument go like that, right?
Right. I would, Stedman, condense your example to one paragraph. And at the end of that paragraph, go ahead and get to your thesis. Then move on to what is now your last paragraph.
Okay, that's
okay. And then after that paragraph, you need to give your pro points. And then in your conclusion, go back and refer to that story. Use echoes of that in your conclusion. Okay? Does that make sense?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so we are finishing Grandmother Pain this week. There's one short sort of summary chapter here, chapter 15, pages 181 to 183. I want you to read that for next time, for Wednesday when I see you. And I want you to keep working on your essay and preparing for your final exam. They are both going to be due on Saturday, May 26th. That's a week, and it's 2 weeks from Saturday. So we have class this Wednesday. We have classes on Monday and Wednesday of next week. And the following week is only for you to finish up and turn in your essay and your exam. Okay, does that make sense? Anybody have any questions? Ben, tell Robert to wait a minute. Do you have any questions about what you need to do? Okay. Joel, you good? Stedman, you good?
Yes, ma'am, we're good.
All right. So I will see you guys on Wednesday, same time, same place, okay? Have a good couple of days. We'll see you on Wednesday.
Thank you. Bye.
All right. Bye. Safe travels, Stedman.